started in St. Louis, and that part of my life is, as a child, was a little bit more like kind of scattered. I refer to it as the journey. You know, I lost both my parents, and you know, those winters and those rains, those seemed very, very heavy. It seemed like those were really cold and really, really long winters. It was really hard, just because at 6 years old, I didn't understand how I was cheated in life. I felt like someone stole my opportunity to have a mother and a father and ultimately a family. I had one little brother and one little sister that I had to look after. I felt like they left me alone in a way. They didn't take on the responsibilities, and that was something within myself that I put on myself. So that was the earliest challenge. And after that, it was a situation where I bounced from home to home to home, living in foster care, even getting adopted at one point, and then going back into the whole system of moving from home to home to home. I never consistently stayed anywhere. I never stayed anywhere for more than 2 months maybe before I moved on to another place. Went to various different schools. I used to pack all my stuff in a bag and take it to school. And I'd stay at the school sometimes, or go home with a friend and stay at the friend's house. I even got to a point where I started packing basketball stuff early and sleeping underneath the bleachers of the high school basketball gym so I could shoot and play basketball. And sometimes early morning guys would come in and play morning basketball at 5 a.m. So they just thought I was showing up on time just to play 5 a.m. basketball. They didn't know I had slept in. Started my career in high school, because high school I won 58 games in a row with the Spokane Ferris Saxons, 2 state champions. You know, beat great players, guys you hear in the NBA now. We beat Isaiah Thomas, beat Avery Bradley. I mean, there's a bunch of great guys that came out of Washington, and I won in high school and became one of the greatest teams in high school. Got a chance to meet the mayor and everything. Then from there I went on to WSU, and that's where I met some of the guys I'll talk to for the rest of my life. Marcus Capers, Klay Thompson, Reggie Moore, Mike Ladd. Those guys in your formative years when you're 18, that was one of the greatest times of my life. And we didn't get a chance to go to the NCAA or anything like that, but we played great basketball, and we were a good team. We had amazing moments. I think the best part of my collegiate year was playing in the U19 USA World Games in New Zealand. We ended up winning and getting a gold medal. And I had a chance to play with Klay during that time. But you play with a bunch of guys who are also in the NBA. Gordon Hayward, Shelvin Mack, Seth Curry. All those guys were on my team. So it was a powerful team, but it was great fun to play against nations at age 19. Great experience. I turned pro at 21. I left school a year early. You know, school was just a little bit too difficult for me, but my mind was more directed towards, I want to make some money, I want to play basketball, and I want to start my career. This is what I wanted to do. I want to go to the NBA. That year was a lockout year. And for a player like me, I needed to be in front of people. I needed to play summer league and go to vet camp. And I probably would have worked my way onto a team, which is something I believe that I'm going to try to do now. But at that time, it kept me out, and so I went to Turkey. After that, I went to Korea. and was drafted second round by ET Land, and I couldn't stop smiling because not only do they pay well, but Korea is one of those places like you're gonna get taken care of. You're gonna get good food, good meals, good training, good everything every day. Then I went over to Japan, and that's where I always say it's where I found myself. That's when I became Hapai. That's when things like this mattered to me so dearly, is because going to Japan, I just threw all the negative away, came upon spiritual awakening, and consciousness started flooding. Right around 2012 was that time when everything was changing in the world. So that was when I started to receive what I believe is my spirit. In 2015, I came home, and I moved a lot because I didn't have a secure place yet. And in one of my movings, I misplaced where I put my passport. And so for a little while, I just looked for it. And I thought maybe I could find it. And I couldn't find it. To get my passport, because of, being in St. Louis, then being in Spokane, and then being in foster care, and then being adopted, it changed all my records. So it was very difficult to find all my records. I had to call the courthouse in St. Louis to give me my birth certificate. I had to go to the courthouse again to get a new social security card. All these things you have to do just to present it to get a passport. I finally was able to do it, and my passport finally came in the mail. And when it came, I told everyone, okay, I have my passport now, I can go play. That was during the summertime. There's no jobs in summer for FIBA basketball, unless you go play in Puerto Rico probably. So I came to a point where I was like, now I have to be stuck before I can go play. And the money started to go down, and I became homeless. I lost my home, and I remember asking tons of friends, and it felt like I was doing it again. I was gonna get ready to move into another person's home and continue to live that foster care lifestyle. My friend, he saw me post something on Facebook, which was so random. I posted something about, moving on, or something like that. And he saw it. My friend had just called me. I'd probably been in the home for maybe 1 week or so. And I spoke to an agent, and he was like, the only thing that's available right now is to go play in Vietnam. And it's for a short time, more like a preseason. A chance opened up for me. Vietnam was full. I wasn't supposed to be here. And then when he couldn't perform in Vietnam or be here because of the environment and change, it opened up a door. Sometimes bad happens, or it seems like it's bad for someone else, but it opens up a door for someone else. And I came through. First game we were playing, and I remember how wet the ball was, how excited everyone was. It was really like first time playing basketball again. It was just like, it was so much emotion. And at that moment, I knew Canterbury could be good. I really bonded with really everyone. And I know that once it's all said and done, when I go on to the next phase in my life and part of my journey, I know I'm going to still talk to them. That's how good it is. So I cannot really pick one or two. But I pick them as individuals because they've meant something to my heart. Every single one of them, in their own way. Basketball, ultimately, it gave me a chance to fall back into a family, so to speak. I went and played in Korea, and then I went and played in Japan. And I truly believe being in Asia kind of shifted my frame of mind in God was able to walk into my life in a much different way. I saw the abundance of the vibration of energy between people. I started realizing everything that I had gone through it wasn't a challenge, or it wasn't to knock me down. It was so that I would grow and be strong enough for what's coming. Because the opportunity now to come to Vietnam, I feel strong. I feel like I've done a lot with my life, and a lot has happened. But it's made me a well-rounded man. And I think that's the beauty of being a basketball player too, is that we do get criticized for our performances and the things that we do. But fans, they make you feel good about what you do. And life isn't so much only about what you do and you get rewarded for your works. It's the fact that you can be amongst so many good-hearted people pushing you, behind you, silently, if you will, to become the greatest version of yourself. I'm never gonna stop. I'm honored. I'm honored to be a part of this life with you. So as usual, like always, it's namaste. It's love you. I grew up watching Disney Channel. I mean, my favorite Disney movie is Aladdin. Before a game, I like listening to Miley Cyrus, but I could play soccer and I really enjoyed it. Like, my favorite player right now is Aubameyang for BVB. And I thought FIFA was the dopest game ever. Then I started getting really good and then nobody could beat me. Still nobody can beat me. Clay was one guy that, you know, I couldn't consistently beat. He would beat me or I would beat him. I still was better. So when you see this Clay, you know, we can have a rematch if you want, but we know who the real FIFA God is. It's a pot.